Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Software. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and review on this T238 Matrix 40mm grenade. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do like, comment and subscribe because that helps the channel get seen by the YouTube algorithms. Link down below take you to all my socials. Stop by, say hello, and the join button down below will take you to channel memberships. 99p a month, totally optional. Really appreciated, all that gubbins. Nobody cares. Boring. Moving on. So I've got another product here then from T238 who reached out to me and said, do you want to try our new 40mm grenade? I love a 40mm grenade. I absolutely said yes to them. So they have sent me their brand new Matrix 40mm grenade, and they have sent me a bunch of caps for it, which we'll sort of talk about in the fullness of time. So the box itself is pretty exciting, comic book-esque theme to it all, you know, indicating what it's doing. So this is a 40mm grenade that does tracers to the BBs in it and a flame simulator as well. If that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what will. I'm a little bit excited for this. So the box itself, then we've got a camo pattern, we've got their branding, ages for over 14, designed by T238. We've got a Matrix comic book style image on the back as well. And the only thing I've done to this box so far is remove the shrink wrap that was on it, the cellophane on it, because it was reflecting and you could see my ugly mug, and nobody needs that. So get this box open then, and we've got some lovely foam keeping it in there. We've got our manual, there it is. Whoa. We've got our manual to start with then. So it starts off in Chinese and then the English part is at the back. So products are professional. Use gas that have been in the same flame, qualified for an overpressure less than 14 kilograms. It does say basically to make sure to press the trigger on the bottom to reset the valve so that the gas doesn't like leak basically and not make it working. This thing is so 40mm. I don't know why I'm sat reading it now. I need to sort of just get into this really, don't I? So there are loads of features to this little thing. So in the box then we've got some stickers in there. We've got a bunch of spare O-rings in there as well. It looks like probably 2 sets of O-rings in there. We've got a teeny tiny little USB-C charging cable. That is, do you know what? So far, that's highlight for me. That's ace. We have got some of the caps in here already. So there are, let's have a look. Boom. Oh, I'm going to say 2. There are 3 caps in the box already, which I'll talk about these in a moment, what these are. There is the sort of the main sort of shaft of the grenade, which I'll talk about. And then there is the main body of the grenade. Everything else is just foam in there. So this is the main body of the grenade. So we can see a bunch of electronics here. We've got a gas fill valve and we've got a basically a reset valve on the bottom there as well, which is how we release the gas out of it. So this kind of works on a sort of like a plunger system that you push it down and it clicks into place and ball bearings hold it in place. When it comes back out, you press it again, the ball bearings are allowed to move out of place. The sort of plunger system releases the gas, which obviously comes upside of here, and then at which point we've got some sort of projectile in here, which then is fired out. So the way this works is, to be fair, like the more I look at it, the more I think it's pretty clever. So whilst it is just sat in your launcher with one of these inside of here, there is ultraviolet light on in there that is charging your BBs up. And then at the moment of launch, it's fired out. This explodes open because we've put BBs in here and they are fired out into, you know, whatever you've aimed at. And then it fires basically a muzzle flash out of here to simulate basically the, it going off. And you can RGB it if you want to as well, which like, that's pretty damn cool, isn't it really? So there is a wealth of cool technology in there. I don't want to unscrew it because the last time I did that, it didn't end well for me. And that grenade's never been the same since. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get this charged up first. So to charge it up, we're just going to use this little cover here, this little waterproof rubberized cover there. I'm just going to pull that out. Now that's actually pretty good because that goes all the way down over the USB-C socket. I'm then basically just going to click that into there and I'm going to put it on charge. Now in theory, it should, and it does, it charges from my battery bank. So it's currently charging, so let's just check what the manual says for us. Charging. When the red light, when charging, the red light is on. When full, the green light is on and red light is out. So it is fully charged. That's nice, great. We can get started then. So I'll get rid of that. I'll insert this back. I'll be back in a second and we'll talk this through. Okay, so it's fully charged. The first thing I want to do is talk about the projectiles. So at the minute, there are two types of projectiles available. These, which take in either gel blaster balls or BBs, ideally tracer BBs, because we've got the tracer element in here. That is one type of projectile. There's also a foam ball that they're doing, which you can buy, which I've not got as part of this kit because this is the most interest to me. But then they're also launching another projectile type as well, which is on the website. That is linked down below, the link to this product and the information page and things like that. So there's 3 different types of projectiles that you can launch from this. I assume all using the same shaft system as well. Now, in terms of configuring it, so let's say that you only want the tracer and not the fire, or you want the fire and not the tracer, or you want both. So just above the USB socket is a little press button. So if I give it a long press, at the minute it's set to do tracer and the flame. So if I long press it, so you'll see then it got a flash of the illumination lights. So right now it's set to tracer only. If I long press that again, I get a flash of the light. It's now on flame only. And if I long press it again, I got both the color and I got the tracer lights as well. So it's back to color and tracer. Now, if I short press the light, I am now changing the color that is going to be illuminated, which is absolutely crazy. And it's like making my eyes hurt. So, ooh, RGB. Whoa, that's a little bit trippy, isn't it? So just to give you an indication then, so the color cycle that we can go around is rainbow, red, yellow, green, cyan, blue, pink, white, and back to rainbow. So do you know what? I like a bit of rainbow. So we're going to leave it on rainbow for now. Now, what I will say with these are generally considered one-time use, and you shouldn't be putting them back in there. Now, 3 did come in the box. What they've also done is sent me a box of extras. So I have got another, does it say on the box how many there are? So I've got another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of those shells to be going at. Basically, so I've now got the ability to run 13 launchers through this thing. I am pretty damn excited for this. So I'll show you how to launch it, and then I'll get some bits set up and we'll do the initial launch to see how good this is. It's going to go in my 40mm grenade pistol. Now, it should be compatible with just about any sort of 40mm grenade launcher. It does say that if you haven't got the space in your launcher for at least 11 centimeters, then this is not going to fit in your launcher. So consider that. So if you haven't got the sort of breech space of at least 11 centimeters, it's probably not going to fit. Now, what I'm going to do is, I don't currently have a wooden stick just laying around. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set the valve. I've got a pretty wide flat Torx end. So I'm just going to push the valve in all the way. And that should be set now. In fact, what I'm going to do is just check with a bit of gas. Now, there was, oh yeah, I was just going to say, there is an illumination. So that is telling me now that the gas tank is pressurized. It's now loaded and ready to go. The manual does say, do not leave it loaded. Basically, unload it when you're done, so you're not draining the battery down and things like that, and you're not leaving it fully under compression. So at this point then, I can now screw on this body. Happy with that. I can seat this in the top and I can add my BBs. So I'm just going to grab my tracer BBs. Now it does say specifically that it only works with green tracers, so that's why I've got some green tracers. So I'm just going to pour those in. It says approximately 100 BBs. Oop. Now as I close that up, what I should be able to do is, there. And I can see the ultraviolet lights are pinging underneath, which means they're starting to charge the BBs. So I'm not going to fill it. Oh, I have filled it. I want to fill it. So I'm just going to push that down and it clicks in. There's like a retaining lip there. So that is now locked and loaded and ready to go. I can't even begin to tell you the excitement that I'm feeling right now. I am buzzing for this. So give me a second. Let me calm down. Let me get set up. I'm going to turn the lights out and we're going to launch this thing. Okay, just to show you then, I've got the launcher out. Launch ready. I can see it's sort of fully working. There's the launching pin. So I'm just going to tip that up. No BBs lost because it's no like sort of retention O-ring or anything. It's nice and in there. It fit really snug. So I am ready to go now. I'm going to get set up. I'm going to cut to the dark shot and we'll see what happens. So just to show you, this is the kind of, I'm only a couple of feet away from it. I'm just going to launch into that so you know what you're supposed to be seeing. So I'm going to turn the lights out now. I'm going to do this. It's not pitch black. Oh, look at that extra light. Okay, here we go. Wow. Oh my God, that was awesome. Right, okay. I'm going to cut to me going silly with this launcher. I'm going to get some more shots fired out and then we'll come back and talk about this. So you can see it from the other side. Yeah, good. Wow. So we fired it off. We fired it off a couple of times. It's now sort of in a standby mode. I can tell because there's no light on indicating that it's charged up with gas. There's no the trigger button isn't fully flush back to the base here, saying it's in sort of like a reset standby position. And if this is basically at the end of your day and you're going home, this is how you should leave it, is like this basically, ready to just start, and it will sit happily like that until next time. And then obviously as soon as you're ready, we're just going to reset the valve. So just give it a good push in. It comes back out flush, which means that the valve is reset, and then I can get my gas and I'm going to keep it upright like that. I'm going to push my gas down onto the valve. I've seen that the lights are going. It recommends a 1 to 3 second fill of gas is more than adequate. The standby light is now back on, and then I can fill my container back up again and we can go again. Okay, so I am back from what is possibly the most fun I've ever had with a 40mm grenade. Like, that was just brilliant. So just with the pop of the gas, the spray of the BBs, you know, just like that literally entertained me. It just felt so satisfying just to flick that down, drop your shell in, lock it shut, aim and fire, and you get the pop, you get the almost like a gas blowback, sort of like there is a little bit of a kick from it. Not obviously nothing like a gas blowback pistol itself, but there is a little bit of a kick from it. The pop that goes off with it, seeing them scatter, seeing the bit of RGB or whatever colour you've chosen, is brilliant. At first, when I was looking at the manual, I was thinking, oh, it looks a bit fiddly to set it up, but just clicking that button and, you know, being able to change your colour within seconds, you know, let's go there. Oh no, back to RGB. I'm going to stick with red. You know, that is fantastic. And if you're looking for that, a little bit of fun, maybe play urban that allow this sort of thing at CQB sites, you know, maybe you just want sort of like something a little bit different, even just being able to have tracer BBs lit up as you're launching them. You know, the fact that the minute it was charged up, it starts just flashing the ultraviolet light, so it's just charging those BBs up. You might not fire that grenade for sort of 5-10 minutes, so it's just constantly pulsing those BBs with ultraviolet light. So when you do fire it off, you have got that effect, and you've got those BBs sort of largely lit up, and it's not just a one-time flash like a tracer unit will be. You know, you've built up a bit of charge and things like that. You know, it's great that it comes with a set of spare O-rings in there, which is brilliant. You know, sort of the real word of caution really in terms of use and nothing else is obviously at the end of the day, make sure that the valve is sort of reset into standby mode, so nothing's switched on. You know, that is important, because if you've got that depressed and you've got gas in it, you're leaving it under pressure, that could be a hassle. I would also say, just, I'm sure I've read it, I can't remember if it's in the manual or when they contacted me, but basically make sure that you've loaded this part before you start loading that part, because what you don't want to do is have that loaded and then start charging it up with gas, whatever, and it goes off. You know, so make sure that this is done first and the light is on to indicate it's in standby, then load this up. Those are a little bit fiddly, but you know, for the effect you get, it's negligible real difficulty. What I will say is it does largely say that they're kind of like single use, which is largely because they're going to end up absolutely filthy on the floor. Now, you know, the ones I've used, fortunately, the first 2 or 3 have just gone into my trusty crap shooting box, so they are spotlessly clean, so I can probably get another shoot out of that. There's no dust on them, there's no grime on them. So the reason behind it being single shot is those hinges obviously are going to wear out quickly. This one's is obviously coming off already, and they're going to end up coated in junk off the floor. So just keep that in mind. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a lot of fun, and if you're going to run something like that and you want a cool effect, you know, that is just absolutely phenomenal. I love the just a point to 238. I love the orange colour mixed with the black. I think that's a great look for your stuff, is those sort of colours. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I have immensely enjoyed myself shooting that off. I've got a lot of fun out of that. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.